we are still trying to figure out what exactly happened. An LA church targeted with KKK style cross burning. Put up the picture of the church and the crosses. Okay, supposedly a symbol of religious expression, protected, righteous, right? This is what it looked like. This is another cross burning that we were able to retrieve. That's what the KKK would do. So a pastor found that he had his crosses burning just like this outside of his church. The reports say firefighters responded to a report of a fire shortly before 5 a.m. The three crosses in the garden in front of the church were scorched from flames, but by the time the firefighters arrived, the fire had ceased. Authorities say there was a garden hose nearby, but it's unclear if someone put out the flames. Fire officials say the three crosses appear to have been doused in lighter fluid and individually set on fire, each one. The church itself, thankfully, was not harmed. Here's what the Reverend said. This is Reverend Pierre. In his 30 years of leading the Christian Fellowship Church, Sylmar Christian Fellowship Church, Reverend Pierre said he never saw a threat like what he saw on July 6th. I remember you just had the celebration of independence, right? July 4th. This happens on July 6th. Quote, it's a shame that people still want to do things like this in this day and age, end quote. It's a multiracial congregation that we have, he says. So there should be no issue. Now let me just pause on that. Come to me. The pastor says we have a multiracial congregation and there should be no issue. Put up the pastor again. And I want to talk to my brother directly. Dear brother, that's the reason you were targeted. That is the reason you were targeted. It is because your ministry is breaking down the walls of division within the context of race dynamics and background. You are doing the work that truly aggravates the adverse actors against you. We have no issue, he says. And I think it's just someone that in a bad moment, in a time, made a bad decision. I hope that's what it is. We have a diverse community, he said. We have Hispanic, we have Black, we have white. We have come as you are. We don't really care. We see everyone. If you're in the building, you're in the building. The mayor, Karen Bass, said on Twitter, and I quote, I spoke with Pastor Pierre Howard yesterday. We will be working with LAPD to ensure that the individual or individuals responsible for this act are held accountable. My thoughts are with the Sylmar Christian Fellowship Church as we chart our path forward together. As per the standard for any attacks against houses of worship, the House of Worship Task Force, which is a real thing, LAPD and FBI will investigate the case as a hate crime. So we have all of the ingredients, right? You have racist white males back in actual political power. You have cross burnings happening at churches. You have voting rights being eroded for those who come from communities of color. You have affirmative action being gutted so that diversity can lessen throughout this country by way of higher education. That then sets the groundwork, the legal framework, so that you could eliminate all diversity inclusion programs throughout this nation, period. They are doing what they wanted to do in the 60s. They are now doing it by statute in 2023. Ben, thoughts here?
You're exactly right that we have this resurgence in our government and our leadership, and that is the direct link. That's the direct reason why you have a resurgence on the ground. When you see leaders that are saying unconscionable things, that are endorsing hateful rhetoric, of course you're gonna have idiots on the ground that take that as a green flag to go right ahead and do whatever is in their mind that they were afraid to do before. They know they have support now in government. That's why we need to expel and lock up anybody that's hateful, even in our government. And it's not just the overt ones like the Steve Kings and the Tommy Tubervilles. It's the ones that go speak at white nationalist conferences like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar. It's ones like Mitch McConnell that don't rebuke it. It's all of the people that don't, in all harsh terms, say, nope, you just went and spoke at a white nationalist conference. You're on my crap list now as well. It can be no more piecemeal. Oh, I'll try to apologize as I have to, as I'm forced to, as I'm backed into a corner. If you don't stand for greatness, for equality, for kindness, for goodness, for all people being treated the same, then you stand for the exact opposite. You can't stand in the middle and then claim that you're not racist. You are if you don't stand hard and fast against it. That's just a fact that we've lost sight of, and we have to put our foot down and make sure we never lose sight of it again.
That's right. Real leadership is required, especially in times like this.